The movie begins with Princess Shuri in her lab. She was trying to recreate the heart-shaped herb to save her brother King T'Challa from dying, but her brother passed away before the herb was created. Princess Shuri was so sad and she blamed herself for her brother's passing. Her family and the entire kingdom prepared a farewell burial ceremony according to their tradition, for which they danced and honored their king. One year later, the queen was summoned to a meeting prepared by other nations, for which they demanded Wakanda to share her resources with them, mainly the vibranium. But the queen refused, for fearing that vibranium could bring harm in the world if it falls into the wrong hands. She then continued by saying that her nation is passing through a rough time, but they will not hesitate to attack and defend themselves against anyone who attempts to steal vibranium. She said this statement considering the attack made on Wakanda's outreach post the previous day. She then presented the invaders in the meeting and confronted the country responsible for the attack. After returning to Wakanda, she went out with her daughter, Princess Shuri, to reminisce about their family. During their talk, they were suddenly surprised by the presence of Namor, the leader of Talokan. He blamed Wakanda for exposing vibranium to the world. He said that his tribe's peace was threatened since the Americans detected vibranium in the sea. He then threatened the queen to send the scientist responsible for creating the vibranium detector or he will destroy Wakanda. The queen then sent her General Okoye to America with Princess Shuri to retrieve the scientist responsible for creating the vibranium detector. They met with an old friend who gave them information about the scientist they were looking for. Their friend was working in the CIA in America. Princess Shuri met the scientist, which turned out to be a student. She convised her to come with them to Wakanda so that they can find a way to solve the situation, but they suddenly attacked. They divided into groups and ran away so that they can minimize their attack. And they reunited after minimizing their attack. While they were on their way to Wakanda, they were suddenly attacked the second time. The second attack was so severe that Princess Shuri was left unconscious. While Okoye was trying to save her, she was surprised by the presence of people who had blue skin, and they had superhuman fighting ability. Okoye faced a very difficult opponent and was no match for this superhuman soldier. These superhuman soldiers were from Talokan, and they were sent by their leader Namor to kidnap Princess Shuri and the scientist responsible for creating the vibranium detector. Aki reported the news of the attack to the queen and the elders. The queen was very mad at her for failing to protect the princess. She was very disappointed, to the point of expelling Okoye from her post. The queen had no choice but to go to Hot to seek help from Nakia, her late son's fiancé. Nakia had been away from Wakanda for over 6 years since Thanos' attack. After learning the news about Princess Shuri's kidnapping, she agreed to help. In Talokan, Princess Shuri was given a royal dress for her to wear before meeting with Namor, the leader of Talokan. After meeting Namor, she was taken to see Talokan City underwater, which was beautiful. Namor took the chance to convince Shuri to fight against other nations, but she refused. As they planned, Nakia found the location of the princess and immediately went there to save her and the scientist. And she successfully saved the princess. Namor was very angry after that, and he gathered his people in order to attack Wakanda. As Okoye and Nakia were talking, they heard people screaming. Water from the ocean flooded the streets and people were terrified. They were running and screaming to save their lives. The Talokan soldiers led by Namor invaded Wakanda. They destroyed the Wakanda capital city, and they killed the queen of Wakanda. Before leaving, Namor threatened Wakanda to form an alliance or he will attack again and completely destroy Wakanda. After the queen's burial, Princess Shuri became the new queen of Wakanda and she ordered her people to leave the city and go to a safer place. While Shuri was in her lab, she remembered the bracelet from Talokan which appeared to have the same components as the heart-shaped herb, so she tasted it to see if she could recreate the herb. After successfully recreating the herb, Shuri was motivated to bring back the Black Panther and to revenge the Talokan for killing her mother and destruction of their capital city. With the help of Nakia and the scientist, Shuri gained the Black Panther's power and she went to her people and managed to bring back lost hope. She convinced her people to fight back and revenge their deceased queen and their destroyed city, and they agreed after seeing their protector, the Black Panther, come to life again. Shuri, now the Black Panther, and her soldiers prepared and went to the ocean where the battle was supposed to take place. Soon after, the battle between Wakanda and Talokan begun. With their new gadgets and strong motivation, they had the upper hand against Talokan during this battle. Shuri managed to corner Namor away from the ocean, where he became weak. Since they were both very skilled and equally powerful, it was a very intense fight between them. Luckily, Shuri was able to beat Namor, and as she was about to kill him, she had a vision from her mother, the late queen, where she wanted her to not kill Namor and stop the war between their countries. With a heavy heart, she decided to listen to her mother, the queen, and ended the war between them. After the war, Wakanda became peaceful again. Shuri then decided to go to Haiti to visit Nakia. She went and sat near the fire at the beach and burned some burial clothes as a ritual in order to let her loved ones to rest in peace. As she was finishing up with the ritual, Nakia came and surprised her with the presence of a little boy. And it turns out that the little boy was his late brother's son, and he was also named T'Challa. The end.